I honestly don't know what I was expecting when getting into these last 7 Mega Man games. All I know is that pretty much all of the classic Mega Man games are as equally as liked as one another, aside from Mega Man and Base, which I'm personally foregoing for the series. For now though, we're talking some Mega Man 4. Which actually ended up being one of my favorites out of the first 6 games. If you weren't aware, I wasn't the biggest fan of Mega Man 3. And for the record, I don't find Mega Man 3 to be a bad game, but I did find it to fall short when it came to an overall fulfilling Mega Man experience. Mega Man 4, however, is a lot better than the sum of its parts. I find Mega Man 4 to be a straight upgrade from 3 in terms of pretty much everything it does, and I think it's the vastly superior title. It's a quite great entry in the series. Despite my positive opinions on Mega Man 3, I'm gonna be real, as much as I enjoy it, there's a lot of common ground here. Not to say that it makes the game inherently bad, but it makes reviewing it difficult. Especially if you watch my other near fully hour of content, good god. But why not an extra 20 minutes or so? This is my take on Mega Man 3. Much like the transition from Mega Man 2 to 3, Mega Man 4 isn't too off from Mega Man 3 when it comes to mechanics. Same jumping, same shooting, same sliding, all from Mega Man 3. But new to Mega Man 4 is the charge shot. In the first 3 Mega Man games, the Mega Buster was a serviceable all-around tool, and it served its goal well in the stages, but the new Mega Buster is undeniably an upgrade. Compared to the first 3 games, spamming the Mega Buster isn't as viable as in Mega Man 4. This is because the iframes cancel out any other shots. Normally there would be no alternative to this, but in Mega Man 4 they introduced the charge shot, which of course does more damage. But it also pierces through multiple enemies, and it even makes tackling the bosses all the more easier. It gives Mega Man a slight edge in combat, which is really nice, especially when you don't have any weapons to go around. This would prove to be a valuable addition, seeing as how every Mega Man game beyond this includes it. Well, you know, minus 9 and 10. But Mega Man 4 does a great job in validating this upgrade. One of the examples I found was in Toad Man stage. In the intro, these enemies are all lined up, and normally, without the charge shot, you just spam these enemies until they die. But if you have the charge shot, you charge them up, wait till they all get lined up, and then release. No pain required. Needless to say, the charge shot is a very useful tool, it's got a lot of power, and it's usually always a good option, especially in boss fights where you could use that extra damage. However, outside of the Mega Buster though, I think a great deal as to why Mega Man 4 wasn't all as impactful as say 2 was because really, Mega Man 4 is pretty standard for a Mega Man game at this point. You have 8 stages, all of which have a weakness chain, and then you're off to the final stages, still jumping and shooting as you always do. Perhaps this is a negative to some, but to me, seeing as how Mega Man 1 and 3 are good and fun games, I really didn't mind this at all. But in the NES era, games like these cost upwards of $40, and your only cheap way out was to rent the games. So I guess I can see the contemporary criticism, but I can't really agree with the ideology though. Because, in quick side tangent here, I scored these games in a pseudo-vacuum. If something improves from the prior entry, I'll praise it. Putting a game down for being similar to the last one doesn't really matter to me if both games are equally as great. And spoiler alert, Mega Man 5 is not as great as 4 for being too similar, it's unremarkable for a lot of other reasons. Its similarities allow it to be a decent game on its own, but its difficulty is rather unimpressive. But right now, we are not talking about Mega Man 5, so I'll leave it there. So like I was saying about Mega Man 4, that's all the great things that Mega Man's 1 through 3 did. The weakness chain, the good bosses, the good weapons, the slide, all well and accounted for in Mega Man 4. However, what made Mega Man 4 so great in my eyes was the absolutely phenomenal level design. Probably only barring Mega Man 6, Mega Man 4 has hands down the best level design in the NES saga. Mega Man 4 not only has the most diverse set of levels in the series, it's difficult to get frustrated at the game. I said earlier in this series that Mega Man 2 had some pretty standout levels, but the difference in level design is how they make a challenge. Mega Man's 1, 2, and 3 all use their base mechanics to create challenges, but Mega Man 4 reinvents the wheel at any turn it gets. Compared to the first 3 Mega Man games, it really makes every level stand out no matter what. Toe Man has the waterworks, Bright Man has the lights out, Pharaoh Man makes you traverse spikes with enemies, and my personal favorite stage in the game, Ring Man has disappearing platforms, but they start disappearing from the very side you come from, making it actually a pretty tense stage, but one that's really enjoyable to speedrun through. Without saying, Mega Man 4 has a very solid variety of stages to go around, and the bosses themselves are a large improvement from 3. No more Doc Robo Quick Man, God, I hate that guy. Bosses and enemies in general are a hell of a lot less frantic, and I'm okay with that. Regardless, I do find Mega Man 4 still puts up a pretty solid challenge despite of that. Well, except for Toad Man, who just gets stun locked until he dies. Was that intentional? Mega Man 4 does a solid job on the difficulty front. Still easy enough to get into for newcomers. In fact, I'd say it's a hell of a lot easier than Mega Man 3. But Mega Man 4, above all else, is a very stable entry in the series. Its level design is superb, has some great weapons, and above all else is just generally a fun game. Really, I guess I could just end the video here. Mega Man 4, barring some similarities with the prior entries, is pretty awesome. But f*** it, I got nothing better to do. Who wants to talk about weakness chains again? Or the extra items that are basically the same extra items from Mega Man 2 and 3, except you had to find them now. Or Eddie. Oh, okay then. Well, it's time for the story, I guess. For the first time in series history, Dr. Wily isn't the villain? And they say Mega Man 4 doesn't have variety. Anyways, the new villain in town is Dr. Cossack, who's a scientist not unlike Dr. Wily, who vows for world domination. But at the same time, the swap back to Dr. Cossack really doesn't have much of an impact on the game. You're still traveling through the 8 stages as per usual, defeating bosses as you would, and just doing your traditional Mega Man fare. Like I said, these similarities do not make Mega Man 4 an inherently bad game, since it has all the great qualities of its predecessors, but it does often bear repeating, and for the viewers sticking for the long term, I really don't want to burn you guys out here. So, to make a long story short, boom, we take out all the 8 robot masters just like that, and only the Cossack stages remain. And just like Wily, this is a marathon stage. There are no breaks, you just fight every stage back to back. Except, oddly omitting the boss rush for whatever reason. But regardless, it's essentially just the Wily stages, but also really goddamn easy for whatever reason. Although Cossack 1 does slap, I'm not gonna lie. But the stages themselves are just okay. They're not as distinctive as the average Mega Man 4 stage, and they're also just really easy and kind of unremarkable. But there's really nothing inherently wrong with them. I just don't think they stand out compared to the rest of Mega Man 4 stages. The bosses are okay too. And honestly, at this point, everything about these stages are just okay. The bosses are fine, the stages are fine, and the final boss is fine. Dr. Cossack goes down pretty easy, but oh no, Dr. Wily was the villain after all. Colored me shocked. So 3 stages later, to which I have pretty much nothing else to add on, they're just okay. The boss rush is also as okay as ever. And then the final fight is also really, really easy. And perchance just okay. Yeah, this is as unremarkable as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. The final stages are rather anticlimactic, to be frank. They aren't anywhere as bad as the likes of Mega Man 2's Wily stages, but regardless, they're rather insignificant in the long run. Overall, it's not a bad finale, but it just kind of happens. Anyways, one Wily battle later, he unceremoniously escapes and transforms into the legendary Wily capsule, which is honestly not that much harder. You just hold out this, solar charge thing until he rams his ass into it enough. With that, Wily admits defeat once again, and motherfucker! He goes through this weird shifting door, only meaning that his antics will continue onwards. But as the castle crumbles, Mega Man hitches a ride on the nearby train, and that concludes Mega Man 4. Yeah, this ending was, anticlimactic. Aside from the similarities to prior entries, Mega Man 4 is not a bad game, but it is certainly very samey. Depending on your point of view of the prior entries, this can be a good or bad thing, but seeing as this is my video, I think Mega Man 4 is a pretty good game. When it comes to the fundamental concepts of Mega Man 4, I really don't have many issues with it, and I think it offers a lot from the prior entries to be worth a playthrough in its own right. Not to mention, it completely shits on Mega Man 3 in general, no contest. Mega Man 3 is a good video game, but Mega Man 4 just beats it in every respect for me. But Mega Man 3 one-ups Mega Man 4 in terms of uniqueness, so if you like that about Mega Man 3, good for you, you'll probably like it more. But for me, Mega Man 4 just clears it in my opinion. Great Mega Man game, and one of the best in the NES saga. But for those who prefer Mega Man 3, well, the next game is a bit of a lot, even for me. Buckle up, folks, because it's Mega Man 5, the most unambiguously alright game in the series. Until next time. Hey guys, it's zeusdeegoose here. I just wanted to thank you for tuning in to this video. I don't have much else to add on that I didn't in the previous video. I'm still working on that platform fighting video. I got one person on board. I'm gonna try to get another on board, but I don't think I'm not sure at this point. I'm not really familiar with the scene all that much, but I will try and get more people on board, and if one is fine, I'll take it, but as it stands, the script is about halfway done, and it's going pretty good as far as I can tell. It's not gonna be as long as these videos. I think it's gonna be maybe 7 minutes max, but it's gonna be one of the more unique videos, so I don't expect it to get as many views as the Mega Man series does. But I think a certain audience will like it, so stay tuned for that. But also, for you Mega Man fans, I still gotta work on the Mega Man 5 script. I took a week-long break because I was just getting burnt out for school and all that, so I was completely absent that 1 week, and I'm trying not to make that a regular thing. Sometimes I will take 1 week breaks just because maybe I don't want to upload a video on that next Friday, so it's a nice thing to do. I really do like doing this, but it's also very tiring editing a video like this. Depending on the content, really takes 2 days or so. So it's a hobby, I gotta balance it with my actual schoolwork and stuff. But I think it will turn out fantastic, just like all my other videos. So if you're interested in those other videos, hit that subscribe button, give me a like, give me a dislike if you disliked it, of course. I do accept criticism very well. And Just let me know what went wrong with this video, and I will be happy to accept your criticism, or as long as you're not an asshole about it. Like, oh, just don't say, oh, this video sucks, mine is so much better, and all stuff like that. Just, like, be constructive, you know? But for now, that'll do it. So, zeusdeegoose signing off. See you next time.